Dear ladies and gentlemen, warm greetings to the entire community that is following the Caribbean Weather Bulletin. In this special week, the final week of the Atlantic hurricane season, which is also the time when millions of families in the United States and its territories are preparing to celebrate Thanksgiving. While the aroma of traditional dishes is spreading through every home, from roasted turkey, sweet potato pie, to rum cakes that are characteristic of the Caribbean, the biggest question that people in the region still expect from us is this. In this final week of the hurricane season, will the weather truly be gentle, or is nature still holding back a secret card? In today's long news bulletin, we would like to bring you a panoramic picture, analyzed from the latest meteorological forecast data sources, combined with satellite imagery, figures from regional observation stations, and global models, in order to provide the most comprehensive, clear, and accurate view of the weather developments across the entire Caribbean region, the Bahamas, the Western Caribbean Sea, the Southern Islands, the Northern Islands, as well as the spillover impacts on the Central American coastline. We will also go over some strong weather developments in North America, as they have a direct influence on the cool air masses and the formation of the northeasterly winter trade winds over the Northern Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, it must be affirmed that, according to the latest analyses from the Atlantic Cyclone Monitoring Center, there is no tropical depression, cyclonic disturbance, or storm system forming over the Atlantic this week. This is a positive and relatively rare signal in the final week of the hurricane season, when in previous years weaker systems have still been recorded forming late in November. This helps people in the region feel somewhat more at ease regarding outdoor activities, festivals, tourism, and travel during the holiday period. However, that does not mean that the entire Caribbean will have completely calm weather. The easterly-northeasterly trade winds are still operating steadily, carrying moisture bands from northern South America up into the southern Caribbean, causing moderate to locally heavy rainfall in Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent, and even the ABC islands such as Aruba, Curaçao, and Bonaire. In these places, the main factor causing rain is not cyclones, but the convergence of moisture between the easterly winds and weak convective zones above the warm sea surface. Showers and scattered thunderstorms can still unexpectedly appear in the morning, ease off somewhat at midday and in the afternoon, but increase again at night when the moisture convergence is enhanced. In Trinidad and Tobago, satellite images show dense clouds with low to mid-level structures moving rapidly from east to west. Some locations in Trinidad have recorded rainfall amounts from 40-60 millimeters in just a few morning hours, with some points even reaching 70 millimeters, creating shallow waterlogging in low-lying areas in Port of Spain and Chaguanas. With high humidity and daytime temperatures ranging from 27-30 degrees Celsius, those quick, not strong, and brief tropical downpours will continue to appear for at least the next 2 to 3 days. Short-term forecast models indicate that each day Trinidad and Tobago can still record 50 to 75 millimeters of rain, entirely enough to generate a yellow alert for the possibility of localized flooding if the rain persists within a certain time frame. In Grenada, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, rainfall appears intermittently and tends to be more active in the first half of the week, then gradually decreases but still maintains a state of abundant cloud cover and strong winds. In particular, according to observations from marine stations in Grenada, northeasterly winds at times reach 25-30 miles per hour, causing slight to moderate sea conditions and forcing beach areas to hoist warning flags for tourists. Local residents and visitors should pay attention when traveling by boat, especially on routes between St. Vincent, Bequia, Mustique, Union Island, where strong gusts can pose difficulties for small vessels. Meanwhile, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Curaçao, and Bonaire continue to be affected by cloud bands moving up from northern South America, forming a thicker mid-level cloud layer than usual. In Aruba and Curaçao, many beaches have hoisted yellow flags in recent days as winds increase to 20-30 miles per hour. The presence of mostly cloudy skies interspersed with rain has made temperatures in some areas drop to just about 26-28 degrees, lower than the average of previous weeks. Nevertheless, the showers in this area are generally localized, not long-lasting, and are not expected to create dangerous weather situations. In the Central Caribbean region, including Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, Guadeloupe, and Martinique, the weather is somewhat more pleasant. Showers only appear scattered, and most of the daytime still has sunshine. Average temperatures are 30–30°C, but it feels quite muggy at noon due to rising humidity. This is an area only lightly influenced by the Southern Caribbean moisture band and is not a key rainfall hotspot. Forecast models show that daily rainfall amounts are only about 10 to 20 mm, and on some days almost no rain. Showers appear mainly when the easterly winds bring low clouds in and generate brief rain. Overall, the weather in the Central Caribbean is suitable for outdoor activities, beach tourism, and sightseeing. The Northern Caribbean region, including Puerto Rico, the U.S., and British Virgin Islands, Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Miguel, Kitts and Nevis, is experiencing quite fine and stable weather. Easterly winds increase slightly but are not too strong. The sky is mostly clear with occasional low clouds moving quickly to produce a few passing showers. Temperatures in St. Thomas have even reached 30°C in the past day, indicating that this area is very favorable for outdoor activities. Webcam images and observations from cruise ships in the British Virgin Islands record clear blue skies with long visibility, and in many places the islands can be seen 30–40 miles away. Light showers in the next few days will not have any significant impact. Tourism activities, swimming and boating, can take place normally. While much of the Caribbean enjoys stable weather, the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos are preparing for a major change at the end of the week, when a strong cold air mass from the United States moves in. In the early days of the week, the Bahamas have sunny, dry weather with temperatures around 26 to 28 degrees. However, from Thanksgiving onward, a cold front will sweep into the area, bringing stronger northerly winds, higher waves, and a temperature drop of about 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. Northern islands such as Freeport, Abaco, Bimini, Andros, and northern Eleuthera will be most clearly affected. Light rain may appear on Thursday night and early Friday morning. The cool air in the morning, especially on Friday evening, will be a noticeable change compared to the frequently warm tropical climate. Tourism activities will need to take into account rougher seas and reduced visibility when the front passes. Moving toward the Western Caribbean, especially Belize, Honduras, and Guatemala, radar models record strong development of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This is an area that frequently experiences the influence of moist easterly flow from the Caribbean Sea, combined with steep terrain in Honduras and Guatemala, making convective clouds easy to develop. In particular, the Gulf of Honduras may see thunderstorms with frequent lightning. Some locations such as San Pedro Sula, La Ceiba, Roatan, and Utila may record rainfall amounts of 50–100 mm. Along the Belize coast from Belize City to Dangriga, prolonged showers are likely to occur in the afternoon. Further south, Costa Rica and Panama remain under the influence of the monsoon trough, an intertropical convergence zone that is very active in the rainy season. Therefore, this region has the heaviest rainfall in the entire area, with scattered thunderstorms and the potential for locally heavy rain. Rain may continue through the weekend, especially along the Caribbean coast such as Limon, Costa Rica, and Colón, Panama. An important note for maritime activities: trade winds will begin to accelerate in the central and southern Caribbean toward the end of the week, making the seas rougher, especially off the coasts of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, the Western Caribbean, and the Southern Dominican Republic. When the cold front from the U.S. moves south, strong northerly winds will push waves down over the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and even extend to waters near Cuba and the Cayman Islands. Small boats, tourist boats, and fishing vessels should pay attention to the latest forecast before heading out. Although not directly related to the Caribbean, a notable weather event in North America that can indirectly affect airflows in the region is the strong snowstorm sweeping through Ontario, Canada. In the area along Lake Superior, snowfall is expected to reach 40 cm, accompanied by gusts up to 90 km/h. Along Highway 11 and 17, whiteout conditions, visibility reduced to near zero by blowing snow, have been warned. This is the reason why the cold high-pressure system behind this storm is forecast to push cooler air southward, affecting the Bahamas and northern Caribbean at the end of this week. In conclusion, it can be seen that this final week of the Atlantic hurricane season is relatively calm, with no dangerous cyclones. However, many areas still need to pay attention to showers, strong winds, and temperature changes due to winter weather systems from the north. Residents in Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, and St. Vincent should remain alert for localized heavy rainfall. Residents in the Bahamas should prepare for a brief cool spell at the end of the week, while other parts of the Caribbean can enjoy the beautiful sunny days that are typical of the tropics. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following our news bulletin. If you find this content useful, please press like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss our upcoming bulletins. We wish you a peaceful and warm Thanksgiving week, and we look forward to seeing you again in next week's Caribbean Forecast program.